Hi, in this class I will be teaching chair yoga, and this class is for anybody who just needs a little bit of a reset in the middle of the day to find awareness of the breath, movement in the body, and maybe a little bit of meditation. All you'll need is a chair and a yoga mat. If you're doing this at work and you have a chair that has wheels on the bottom, if you can find a chair that doesn't have wheels, that's more stable. And if you aren't able to find that, if your chair is able to lock the wheels at the bottom, then you'll probably be okay and be able to do this class without rolling all over the place. So go ahead and make sure you're seated towards the front of the chair so you're not slouching backwards. Your feet are firmly planted, your hands are resting to your legs, and close your eyes. You're probably a very busy person, right? Got lots of things going on in your day, tons of responsibilities and demands on your life. And with that, sometimes we can get caught up in the illusions of the mind, things that we tell ourselves that aren't necessarily true, and we can sometimes get caught up in them. So by pausing and noticing how things are now, it makes it a lot easier to discern between what is real and what is not. As you're sitting here, just notice the weight of your feet on the floor, the contact of your seat on the chair, and your hands gently resting on your legs. Maybe as you bring your awareness to the breath, you notice the clothing on your skin getting closer as you inhale and pulling away from your skin as you exhale. Maybe you notice the cool air on your skin or warm air, depending on where you are. And perhaps you notice that expansion all the way around your waist as you breathe in, and contraction all the way around the waist as you breathe out. Notice if your shoulders are lifting up and down every time you breathe. You don't have to force the shoulders down, but see if you can imagine your rib cage and your waist like a balloon, and as you inhale, it's inflating in all directions outward. And as you exhale, it's drawing back in all directions towards the center. Maybe with time, you notice the shoulders start to soften a bit. And the breath becomes a little easier. And if it helps you to stay focused on your breath, to not get distracted by other noises or things around you, then say to yourself as you inhale, I am inhaling. And as you exhale, I am exhaling. I am inhaling. I am exhaling. Continue following that breath a little bit longer. 2 more cycles of breath. Last breath in and breath out. Good. Blink your eyes open. And just notice how you feel. Just a sense of calm, perhaps, and focus. And maybe it just feels a little easier to find clarity in your mind. All right, so let's get moving. So with your hands to your knees, you're going to slide them along your knees and come into a cat pose. Curl your chin to your chest, round your upper spine, leaning back a bit. And you can kind of catch on the fronts of your knees. Inhale, arch your back, lift up through the chest, lift up through your gaze as long as it feels okay in your neck. Again, exhale, round your spine. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, arch your back. Maybe you want to involve the arms so you can interlace the fingertips. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Press back through your pinkies, up with the palms. Exhale, forward. Push an imaginary wall in front of you away as you round your spine. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Just mobilizing through that mid-back, the lower back, the head and neck. 1 more. And the shoulders if you're moving the arms with you. Good. Come all the way back up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, twist towards your right. So you can either take your right hand to the back of the chair. That feels like a little too strenuous on your body, then just grab the side of the chair. You can take your right hand to the outside of your left leg, sit up nice and tall, like the crown of the head is being lifted towards the ceiling. And then exhale, rotate your spine a little bit towards the right. Doesn't need to be forceful. It doesn't need to be extreme. Just getting a little bit of mobilization, rotation-wise. 1 more. Breath in and breath out. Good. Let's try the other side. Come back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist towards your left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last time, breath in and breath out. Good. Come back to center. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. I'll give you 2 options, or rather 3 options here. On the exhale, grab a hold of your left wrist, lean to the right. Now, if it's hard for you to balance and ground down into your feet, you can grab the right side of your chair and just kind of hold it as you lean over. Or you can take your right hand, you might have to scoot back a little bit, and grab the left side of your chair as you lean to your right. So you're getting a little bit of leverage here, that side body stretch. And then rotate your sternum down towards your right knee and reach your left arm across. So you get this nice big stretch in your back. Then rotate your chest towards the ceiling a bit more, keeping your arm by your ear. Just lean a little bit towards that right hand side. Slowly come all the way back up. And let's try the other side. So arms go overhead, big breath in. You can either grab hold of the right wrist and lean to the left. If it's hard for you to ground down and you feel like you're going to fall over to that left-hand side, then you can grab the right side, or rather left side of your chair as you lean to the left. Maybe you want a little bit more, so you can grab a hold of that right side of the chair as you lean to the left. So you're overlapping the arm across, and you're just creating some traction here. Rotate your sternum down towards your left knee as you reach the right arm across. And you might notice a little bit of a stretch going down your back on that right-hand side. Now rotate your chest towards the ceiling and reach your arm towards the left side of the room. And then slowly come back up. Good. Let's do a little bit of release work in the neck. So go ahead and just nod up and down. Especially if you're working at a computer or you're on your phone a lot, right? We're always looking down. So it might feel really nice to just look up and to allow the head to fall back. I like to think of our body like a company, right? So it works together as a unit towards the same common goal. But sometimes, right, there might be someone working in the company that's lacking, that's not doing their job. Go ahead and turn your head from side to side like you're saying no. And if that person's not doing their job, then most likely, right, someone will be like, have to fill in, have to take over or help out. And that's when our body compensates. And eventually, right, our body gets tired. Come back to center and circle your head in one direction. Slow circles, big movement. And if those muscles or those roles in the company get tired of doing that other person's job, they give up, right? And that's when we can have pain or injuries. And so the best way to prevent that from happening is to give every muscle or every person in that company their job, their own role. So that's what we're doing. Come back to center, take a big breath in, sit up tall like there's a string attached to the crown of the head and it's being lifted up towards the ceiling. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. You might notice a little bit of a stretch going down the side of the neck. If this is plenty, you can stay here. If you want a little bit more, then take your left hand and just grab the right, or rather the left bottom side of the chair, and that'll give you some resistance. Think about rolling your left shoulder down and back. If you want to add on a little bit more, take your right hand, gently cradle the top left side of your head. Now you're not pushing down or forcing it in any way. With just the weight of your arm, that might be enough. Keep in mind, we're not trying to chase pain. We're just trying to create some stimulation and mobilization. Release your right hand down. Inhale, chin lifts towards the upper right corner of the room. Jut your chin forward like you have an underbite. And then close the mouth. You might notice this tug going all the way from the collarbone on the left side up your face, maybe even past the jaw into your cheekbone. And then look down at your right shoulder. You can stay here or take your left hand, cradle the back of your skull, and gently guide the crown of the head towards the left side of the room. And then release your right hand back down. Let's try the other side. So left ear to left shoulder now. Maybe this is enough. If you would like to add more, right hand can grab the right side of the chair as you roll that shoulder back and down. Maybe you take your left hand, cradle the top left side of your head, and guide the crown of the head towards the left. You're not pushing or forcing, just gently guiding with your fingertips. Release your left hand down. Draw your chin up towards the upper left corner of the room. Push your chin forward so you have an underbite. Close the mouth. 2 more cycles of breath. Chin down towards your left shoulder. You can stay here or take your left hand, cradle the back of the skull, and guide the crown of the head towards that left-hand side. Release both hands back down to your legs. Roll your chin along your chest. Push the crown of the head forward. Shoulders draw back. So you might notice a release going all the way down the back of the neck and the upper trapezius muscles. Slowly lift the crown of the head back up. And then just roll your shoulders out a couple times. Forward, up, back, and down. Good. Feeling the shoulder blades gliding along the back of the rib cage. And then take those shoulder circles in the other direction, sensing the movement of not just your shoulder blades, but the collarbones and the arm bones. Good. And then blink your eyes open. Take your arms into a goalpost position so your elbows are about shoulder height. Inhale, press your arms back, chest forward. Exhale, take your arms out in front of you and slide your your right arm underneath your left. And as you do this, you can touch the backs of your hands, your palms, or grab your shoulders. So find whichever one feels more accessible in your body. Take a breath in, elbows lift up towards the ceiling, lift your chest up. On your exhale, side bend to your right. So right shoulder, right hip, round your spine through the middle like your cat pose. Side bend to your right, so right, or rather to your left, left shoulder, left hip. And then slowly lift all the way back up. We go in the other direction now. So side bend towards your left shoulder, left hip. Round your spine through the middle like your cat pose. Side bend to your right. And slowly come all the way back up. Good. Elbows stay about shoulder height. Breath in. Exhale. Elbows go to your left, or rather to your right, and look to your left. Elbows to your right, look to your left. Breath in and breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center. Unwind your arms. Reach them up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale, arms go out wide into that goalpost position. Let's take the other side. Press the arms back, chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, take your left arm underneath your right. So binding at the elbows. You can touch the backs of the hands, your palms, or grab your shoulders. Take an inhale, lift your elbows up, lift your chest up. Exhale, side bend to your left shoulder, left hip. Round your spine through the middle, your cat pose. Side bend to the right and come all the way up. Good, now we go in the other direction. Side bend to your right. Round your spine through the middle. Side bend to the left and come all the way back up. Take a big breath in. Elbows stay about shoulder height. Exhale, elbows to your left. Look to your right. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Come back to center. Unwind your arms. Reach them all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, relax your arms down. Good. So now let's get to the lower part of the body. So take your right ankle to your left thigh. If you need to, you can scoot forward a bit more. Then take your fingers into the webbing of your toes. So especially if you're wearing tight, restrictive shoes with a hard sole or high heels, then your feet don't get to engage, right? And we want every muscle in the body to work so that it can relax. It can clock out at the end of the day. If it doesn't get to do that, it's confused. It stays tense. So let's get those muscles to work. So circle the ankle in one direction. And by taking your fingers way into the webbing of your toes, you get to create some space in your toes versus them being really stiff and, being like paddles. Good. So let's create some mobilization, especially through the middle of the foot. So imagine that your foot is a rag and you're going to twist it. So rotate the sole of the foot towards the floor and then twist it up towards the ceiling. And if it's hard to do that, you can switch your grip and then try to get the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Again, twist your foot down towards the floor. Again, you're trying to twist through the midfoot and twist the sole of the foot back up towards the ceiling. Good. Release your toes. Flex your toes towards your right knee, and then you can fold forward any amount until you start to feel a little stretch through the outer hip, the outer glute. You can release your hands down. Allow this to be really passive. And slowly come all the way back up, and let's switch sides. So take your left ankle now to the outside of your right thigh. And again, take your fingers into the webbing of your toes, way down into the webbing if possible, and circle the ankle in one direction. If you want to do a little bit more mobilization work in your feet, maybe this is like an aha moment where you're like, man, my feet are really tight. I'm not able to activate my feet, or when I'm walking on them all day, they're really sore. Then check out my class on the feet and the lower half of the legs. All right, so go ahead and twist the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. So you're mobilizing through that midfoot. And then twist the sole of the foot down towards the ground. And again, if you need to switch your grip so it's easier to twist the foot, then go ahead. Do that both ways one more time. Okay, last time, twist down towards the floor. Good, release, flex your toes towards your knee and hinge at your hips. And then just stop once you feel like you've gotten enough of a stretch. Breath in and breath out. Slowly rise all the way back up. Release your legs down. And then you can do a couple cat-cows if it feels good. Good. So now we're going to try a version of a sun salutation, but that's done in a chair. So you will reach the arms overhead as you breathe in. Exhale, bring your hands to your chest. Good. Almost like a Navasana or boat pose, but in your chair. Inhale here, lengthen your legs. Exhale, plant your feet to the ground. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hug your right knee to your chest. Hold around the shin. Draw the knee all the way in towards your nose. Plant your foot down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your chest. Legs go long. All right, so now we're going to do a version of a sun salutation, but a chair version of it. So inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest, hold around your shin, and curl that knee to your nose. Release the foot down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your chest. Lift your legs off the floor. It's almost like a Navasana or a boat pose here. Lower your feet back down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hug your left knee to your chest. Round your spine and draw that knee to your nose. Lower the foot down. Inhale, rise to standing. Press down through your feet. Try to avoid hinging forward. Exhale, bring your hands to your chest. Good. Lower your seat back down like you're sitting in chair pose. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, hug your right knee to your chest, round your spine. Good. Lower the foot down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your chest. Find your legs off the ground like a Navasana or boat pose. Feet back down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hug your left knee to your chest, round your spine. Lower the foot down. Inhale, dig your feet to the floor, rise to stand. Exhale, bring your hands to your chest, sit your butt back down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your chest. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hug your right knee to your chest, round your spine like a cat pose. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, hands to your chest, lift your legs off the ground. Try to maintain a nice long spine. Lower the feet back down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hug your left knee to your chest. Curl the knee to your nose. Inhale, rise to standing, feet down. Rise up, arms up. Exhale, hands to your chest. Sit your butt all the way back down. Good. Pause. Come back to your breath. I am inhaling. I am exhaling. I am inhaling. I am exhaling. Last time, breathe in and breathe out. Good. Blink your eyes open. All right, let's come up to stand. And you're going to turn your chair sideways. Doesn't matter which side you put it on. But you want the back of the chair to face you. Then come to the back of your yoga mat. And you're going to roll up your chair, or rather roll up your yoga mat like a burrito. And if you have a thicker mat like mine, you'll probably just roll it up halfway. I learned this really great stretch from one of my teacher friends who's also a physical therapist. And this is a wonderful way to get a calf stretch. Okay, so once you have your mat rolled up, you'll stand to the left side of your mat with the heel down, the ball mound of the foot to the mat. Make sure that your heel is not turning out or turning in, but it's right in the middle or in line with the middle of your foot. Then step your left foot as far forward as you can and kind of peek back and make sure that you haven't moved your heel. And you want to step your left foot as far forward as you can, but stop before you hinge at your hips. If you hinge at the hips, that's a sign that's a little too much and you're trying to bypass the stretch or compensate. So keep the spine upright, look forward. And even though the right heel is grounded, transfer the majority of your weight to your left foot. So it's just going to intensify that stretch down the calf. If this is plenty, you can stay here. If you want a little bit more, reach your arms up. Grab a hold of your right wrist crease and lean to the left. So you're getting a little bit of a stretch going down the outer right side of that calf. Come all the way back up and release your hands down to the chair. Let's try the other side. So walk your feet to the right side of your chair. Heel down to the floor, ball mound of the foot on the yoga mat. Make sure that your heel is directly behind the center of your foot, and then step your right foot as far forward as you can, but keeping the spine upright. You can take your left hand to the chair for a little extra support. Peek back and just make sure that you haven't moved your heel at all. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Good. So even though your left heel is grounded, transfer the majority of your weight to your right foot. You can stay here, or maybe you reach the arms overhead. Grab a hold of your left wrist and lean to the right. Slowly come back to center. Release your hands down and then walk off of your mat and let it unroll. Okay, so simple enough, right? And if you don't have a yoga mat to do that, you can always stand right up against a wall and prop your heel up. Imagine the chair is the wall or the leg of the chair is the wall. You'll take your heel to the floor and your toes and ball mound of the foot to the wall, and you can lean into the wall that way. I find that one's a little bit more intense though, because then you can start transferring that weight forward and you get a little bit more of that downward stretch. Okay, so now let's stretch out through the front of the thigh, the front of the quad. So transfer your weight to your left foot. Kick your right heel to your butt and grab the top of the foot or the ankle. Now, the tendency in this stretch is to start to press the knee back. But the moment we do that, we bypass that hip flexor stretch and we're getting into the lower back. So firm your inner legs together a little bit. Guide your right knee down. And it's almost like you're trying to counter the arch in the back. So think tailbone down as you guide your heel to your butt. So a lot of resistance involved here. And then you might start to notice that stretch going down the right leg, going down the front of the right hip. Breath in and breath out. Good. Release, and let's switch sides. Take your left heel to your butt, reach around, grab the top of the foot or the ankle. Inner thighs are firming together a bit. Guide your knee down to the floor, heel to your butt, resist arching in the back. So think tailbone down, and through that resistance, you'll probably notice that stretch a little bit more prominent in the front of the thigh, the front of the hip. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more time, inhale and exhale. Good, release. Hands to the back of the chair. Walk your feet back as far as your body allows, and then once your knees and feet are stacked under your hips and your arms are out in front of you, you're basically in a down dog, just using the chair here. You can bend your knees a bit and allow your chest to start to fall a bit through the thighs or through the arms. If you're very flexible though, you want to be mindful that you don't sink all the way down. There's a little bit of support, especially because you might start to strain in the shoulders. Breath in, breath out. Good. Slowly lift yourself back up. Step your right foot forward. Flex your toes towards your face. Sit your butt back and down. So you're going to bend at your left knee and hands are to the chair for support. And you might notice now the stretch is a little bit more prominent up the back of the legs versus down into the calf. Go ahead and switch sides. Step your left foot forward, right foot back. Bend your right knee, sit your butt down. And almost imagine that you're trying to traction your right foot forward as the left heel tractions backwards. Slowly come back up and then turn your chair around so the back of the chair is away from you. Okay, so have a seat. As you sit all the way down, swing your legs up along the back of the chair as you lower to your back. Hug your knees to your chest. Breath in. Exhale, slowly guide your legs to the left. Nice twist in the spine, very passive. And then come back to center and drop your legs the other direction towards your right. And then come back to center. Find happy baby pose. You can grab the backs of your thighs, calves, or outer edges of your feet to get more of a hamstring inner thigh release. Maybe you're grabbing your feet from the inside or legs from the inside. And if you are able to grab your feet from the inside, you might be able to get a stretch in your lower back. And I find the best way to access that is to keep the knees wide, bring your feet together, press your feet up, but pull your hands down, and you might notice that there's a little bit of a release in the lower back. Not guaranteed, but you never know until you try. Good. And then slowly rest your shins back onto the chair, hands to your belly, close your eyes. Just like how we started, feel the weight of your body and the support beneath you. So your calves and feet on the chair, the pelvis, spine, rib cage and shoulders, the arms and the back of the skull resting on the floor. Maybe you notice the cool or warm air on your skin. Maybe you sense as you breathe in, the clothing on your skin gets a little closer. And as you breathe out, the clothing pulls away from your skin. And if it helps to draw your attention inward, perhaps you repeat to yourself, I am inhaling. I am exhaling. I am inhaling. I am exhaling. Just a nice reminder of how things are right now. You don't have to worry about what hasn't happened yet in the future, or hold on to things that's already happened in the past. You can choose to be right here. 3 more cycles of breath. And blink your eyes open. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can circle the wrists and the ankles in one direction and the other. Stretch the arms overhead, pressing the backs of your arms and legs into the floor. Maybe it feels good to side bend. And then hug your knees to your chest, roll over to one side, and press yourself up into a comfortable seat. That could be sitting on the floor or sitting back in your chair. Hands to your chest, palms together. Take a breath in. Sigh out. Good. Sometimes all it takes is a little reminder that you can choose to be right here. I know it's so easy to get caught up in what hasn't happened yet or what already happened. But if we just pause for a moment, connect to our breath, move our body, notice what's happening in the mind, it's a lot easier to move forward with clarity. I thank you for taking this time with me. I hope you found this practice useful. Namaste.